So yeah, I wanted to start talking about the film, which depicts a very harsh reality, you know, in between the corrupted system in Kosovo, also the poverty, and this father trying to struggle to assure a safe future for his daughter. I was wondering what was the starting point for you when you were writing?
Even with my short fiction films, I was trying to bring a piece of reality from the society of where I came from. I think since our cinema is very new, there are so many topics that we can put into screen and so many issues we can deal with, because it's a society with many socioeconomic and political problems. So even with Andromeda Galaxy, my main focus was to bring a piece of reality into screen and to be as naturalistic as possible. And I was following things happening around me with people I know and people I share the same community with. And there was like this vast number of migration happening because of socioeconomic reasons. So that's triggered me to explore more the stories behind people leaving and the struggles that they were facing living in here.
I just wanted to know a little bit if you can tell us about the writing, because there is also a subplot with the father and the prostitute, which is also a very peaceful moment. There is nothing concerning sex or violence, or there is something really peaceful and respectful. So can you tell us a little bit how you approach these sequences and these themes with this woman?
Thank you so much for bringing this up, because this was one of the sub stories I was very interested in doing, because she as a character is a representation of what many women has to go through in order to support their children and having no other ways of getting support. And for me, the way I approached the theme, I try to bring this very interesting character, very pure, very natural. And this relationship of them was more like a relationship between two parents who have their own concerns and who find themselves in the other.
Exactly.
And yeah, for me it was very important to put him in this situation, and also to put the character of the woman in this situation, because he's an extraordinary person who happens to come to her, and that's where a new friendship comes to life, a friendship that was born because they saw each other on the other's eyes and the other's shoes.
To talk a bit more about the daughter-father relationship, we see a lot of happiness in this relationship. It seems very, you know, peaceful as well. I was wondering if that's something you wanted in the first place when you were writing.
Living in here, meeting people who have so many struggles and so many hard things going on, it's where I also learned so much about grace, about optimism. I think in situation like this is where you find the purest, happiest moments that are based on such small things that many people overlook. And for me, it was very important to tell how this father and daughter build their relationship based on what they have. Things that are very, very simple, but yet help them create this great bond among each other. And scenes like when he tries to help her drive the car tell so much about him as a character. Like, he only has that car, but he used that to bring happiness and to create the bond. So yeah, it was very important, because like their struggles were very, very harsh, and the reality was very harsh, but there was so much love and happiness that came from within.
I really like the way you are seeing the world, and it's very fair, balanced, and we see a lot of film with people who need a job or thing, but most of the time is really exaggerated. And I really like the simplicity, which is extremely difficult to make things simple. We try all our life to make things simple, but I really like the simplicity, not only of your way of showing this man, but also the man himself is just a simple man. Can you tell us a little bit? And I think it's very humble and of course very universal. Can you tell us a little bit about the character and this just the ordinary guy is?
As you mentioned, it's a very common character, and it's a personification of different characters I meet and I talk to. And for me, there is something extraordinary within these people who live very simple and hard lifestyle. But at the same time, what I'm very curious about is how these people find strength and the will to seek for a change. And having this man who is very common, but he has like a supernatural power within him because he managed to do everything and still have love and have hope. And it was very intriguing character for me also to develop and to write because it could have been very tricky in terms of realism.
Yeah.
But getting different characteristics from different people whom I observe every day was what helped me make him very consistent. And at the same time, working with the actor who brought Shpatim to life helped me so much because we would go on real location and sit there on the RV and talk about characters, about relationship, about the background. And I had so many feedbacks and also ideas from the actor who was also observing and trying to create Shpatim. And this kind of collaboration was very helpful and added so much to my vision.
How did you come to work with the actor?
The actor is my father.
Yeah. Ah.
And
the producer of the film.
Yeah. When I was writing, he was the first person who, I mean, even in my writing process, I look up to him because he kind of personifies this kind of strong character I have in mind who, despite the struggles, because it's hard being an artist in the society, despite the struggles, he always was a firm believer on a better future. And it was very interesting working with him, but at the same time, it was hard convincing him to be part of the project because when he read the script, he loved the character so much. And he said, this is kind of character that even you make it or you break it. So he had huge responsibilities and was a bit skeptic. And yeah, but it was a good collaboration and it was like living in the story and not just shooting it, but really spending so much time on the set and talking about the characters. That I think that was the key of what made it look naturalistic.
And how did you find the young actress? Did you make a casting? Because she's wonderful.
Yeah, thank you. Actually, I opened a call when I was asking for children of her age. And I had so many videos sent to me, pictures and references. And I wasn't very, very happy with what I was receiving. Yeah. And I was looking for more and more. And then I actually found her spontaneously. Like one day I was going to search for a film set and I saw her and I liked her so much. And it was very luck because I spontaneously met her. And we invited her for a rehearsal on location. And it was like immediately there was a bond between the two actors. And for me, it was very important, like the relationship they built during the whole film was like they were best friends. And that kind of gave so much. And it was also for me easier to work because like they were very supportive of each other and they created this bond.
I wanted to talk also about the camera work. I wanted to see where are your influences and how did you work on that?
When I met with my DOP, I told him what kind of styles I was aiming for, and what kind of camera work. And there were two films that I had in mind. One of them was the Graduation, and the other was You Were Never Really Here, in terms of cinematic approach and camera movement and colors. But at the same time, the way we worked and our budget, our limitation influenced our style as well, because we were working on a very, very tight budget. It was 50,000 euros for the whole picture. And we had very limited days of shooting. So we would do like a guerrilla film style, where we would go out on the street and shoot the action as it's happening. But it helps so much to bring this piece of reality and give the feeling of it as it's happening. So this was a bit about the camera style.
Yes, and next, do you want to make another film in Kosovo, or do you have any ideas to do a collaboration with other filmmakers? Are there any plans maybe you are thinking about next year, your next film, what you're going to do, about the team, and what you are thinking about now? Because we are in a crazy situation, but I'm sure you are writing and thinking about your next film.
Yeah, as you say, it's a crazy situation, but I took this time that I'm alone and we are locked, and I was developing a documentary called Home is Where the Films Are. It's a personal story about my time during war in Kosovo and being a refugee, and the experience with cinema during the period that I was a refugee, and how cinema helps us overcome trauma. So it's a very personal documentary, and I use this time to dig into archives and talk to people and write and develop it. And hopefully by next year we will start production. And I took this as a given time to write and develop. And meanwhile, I'm also developing my second feature script. But for right now, my priority is that Home is Where the Films Are.
As you can hear, we are in the mountains. It's beautiful, and someone decided to cut wood. So he's back.
Very common here. It's like here is very common in Kosovo.
Okay, thank you so much. I can't wait to meet you in person. I really wanted to meet you since a long time. So first time in Zoom, but I can't wait to see you, and let's stay in touch. And good luck for your film. And that's it.
Thank you very much
for having me. And I would love to meet, because I heard so much, I read so much, and I would have loved to be there.
Yes, exactly. But you will be invited the next year if you have a project. You are a part of the family now, and I really hope you can see Les Arcs with the snow and without the pandemic. So
I would love to. Thank you so much for your time. Bye.
Okay.
Take care.
Thank you. Bye.
Ciao. Bye.